it's Kayla here from the KK Lifestyle. I am going to show you guys today, this is my first beauty video, and I'm going to show you guys how to do big voluminous waves. So this is like, this is weird. This is just weird, like all of this, but I'm excited to show you guys. I was a hairstylist and a makeup artist for 12 years. And this is where, honestly, I feel most comfortable is talking about things that are beauty related. So I am actually like really excited about this. This is just like my first time videoing. I'm trying to make sure I have everything organized, you know me. So I washed my hair last night. I do that sometimes. I wash it and I just throw it up like this when it's wet because I have so much hair. I have an abnormal amount of hair. So I throw it up like this and I sleep, and the next morning I'll style it, and that kind of gives me a little bit less work to do. Sometimes I'll shower like 3 or 4 hours before I get ready and I just let it air dry. But I want it to be like 80% dry before I ever really even put a brush to it. So I did the washing last night and then I'm gonna style today. So if you don't have a lot of hair and you don't wanna do that, one step that you're gonna wanna do is just like kind of rough dry it. Just kind of like get a lot of the moisture out. I would say probably 80% of the moisture out before you ever even start round brushing. And that way you're not like giving yourself an arm workout for no reason. It's a lot more work to do it that way. You'll see my hair is still going to be a little bit wet, which is crazy because it's been like almost 12 hours since I washed it. So I also want to mention that I'm actually due for a haircut. So my hair does not have like the best shape right now. I got a teeny weeny little trim at the beginning of August, and that was about 4 or 5 weeks ago. So I am due for a haircut, so I don't have like a ton of shape, but I'm gonna make it work because you guys voted that you wanted to see a hair tutorial before a makeup tutorial. So we're gonna do hair first. Okay, so here we go. Let's take this bad boy down and see what we're working with. Oh yeah, that's nice. This is gonna be like a true makeover situation because, yeah, it's kind of crazy. I part to the side, so I'm gonna kind of get a rough part. Like, it doesn't have to be exact, but I'm just gonna kind of get a rough part going so I have like a guide. The first product that I'm gonna use is the Living Proof Restore Blowout Concentrate. This treatment is supposed to be like a shine treatment. It's supposed to help smooth your hair out, which clearly I need. It's also a heat protector, which is key to keeping your hair healthy. You definitely want a heat protector. So it says to put in damp hair, which my hair, you can see, is still damp. You don't want to put this anywhere near the roots because it will kind of make it a little bit oily. This is a very strong product, but I love the Living Proof stuff. I'm going to show you guys a lot of Living Proof. So I'm just gonna kind of comb that through my ends. I'm gonna put a little bit right here. So you can see I'm staying away from the roots. One of the main like questions that I used to get in the salon is, how do you round brush your hair? The key to round brushing is to make sure that you have some time to do your blowout, because if you will actually schedule, I should tell you what I'm doing. I'm actually gonna part off into sections. So I'm going ear to ear, and this is gonna be my first section. And the rest of this I'm just gonna put on top of my head. You can clip it too, but that's just right there. Okay, so like I was saying, the key to round brushing, give yourself some time because you are gonna want to spend some time on it. If you'll spend some time on your blowout, it will save you time the rest of the week because it's gonna set that style into place for a longer amount of time. I only wash my hair usually twice a week, and because I spend so much time on styling it, the first time I do it, all I have to do is really touch it up the rest of the week. So I'm gonna use this massive, can you see that? Massive round brush. This is a really big brush. I have a lot of hair and I have long hair. If you have like less hair or you want more volume, you have really flat hair or you have shorter hair, go smaller with your round brush. But if you have long, coarse, thick hair like mine, this guy is gonna be your very best friend. You're gonna love it. I'm using the Dyson blow dryer today. I know people are gonna ask what I think about this. I have a few things to say about this. The Dyson is awesome for at-home use. I did have this in the salon. It couldn't keep up with me. All three of the stylists in the salon where I was working at, we have a lot of people that come in and out of the salon all day long. And our dryers were great at first, and then they started kind of shutting off, and maybe it was user error. But I know that when I brought it home, I found that it was fine. I like using it on myself because it does make the hair really smooth and it is so lightweight. When you have as much hair as I do, you don't want to hold a big dumbbell. So this is really lightweight. I like using it at home. I didn't love it for at salon use. None of the girls that I worked with did, but that's just our opinion. So there you go. So I'm gonna use the Dyson blow dryer. I'm going to do the bottom section first, and I kind of have it separated. You can see into two sections, one side and the other. And I'm gonna do probably two sections on each side. So I'm gonna start at the root, and I'm gonna kind of twist the brush as I go down. This takes some practice. You might do it without heat a couple times if you've never round brushed your hair. I'm just kind of peeking to make sure that I got this where you can see it. So I'm just kind of round brushing it down. And for the bottom section, I have super curly hair, so I want it to flatten out a little bit. So I'm not gonna lift too much. I'm gonna mainly be pulling down and forward. When I get to the back, you'll see I kind of have to cross over, and I do the same thing. So here we go. As you can see, I want to stop for a second and show you when I move to my my right side. I'm right-handed, so I actually turn the brush over, and this kind of helps me get a little bit more grip, and it's a little bit easier than trying to like be awkward. Section one is done. So I just kind of like pulled everything together after I did both sides individually. And now I'm gonna pull down this part, and I'm gonna take right about the middle of my eyebrow on each side around to the crown. This is gonna include like my bang area, and I'm gonna pull all of this up out of the way. Like I said, I have a lot of hair. I'm gonna kind of just give this a little brush because this is a wet brush. If you don't have a wet brush, you absolutely need a wet brush. This is the easiest way to get all your tangles out. I use it on my daughter because she has a ton of hair, like her mama and her daddy, and it doesn't hurt. Like you can see, it doesn't hurt to get the tangles out with this brush. It's something about the way it's made, and it's really gentle on the hair as well. Okay, so I got it brushed a little bit. So I'm gonna use a little bit more of this concentrate just on the part that I just pulled down, right on the ends. I'm not like coating it with this stuff because this stuff is really heavy. You don't want to overuse your product or it'll be oily. Now I'm gonna do this section. As I get like farther up, I want a little bit more volume through the top because my hair tends to get like flat on the top and wide at the bottom, and I want to kind of reverse that. So I'm gonna go more upwards with the round brush, not like overly upward, but I'm gonna go upward with the round brush, and I'm gonna direct the heat upward. So you're gonna see I'm gonna put the blow dryer up underneath the brush instead of on top like I was doing before, because I want all that heat, wherever your heat's going is where your hair's gonna go. So I'm gonna try to lift everything starting at this point. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna kind of pull two sections, and then at the end you'll see me kind of pull everything together and do a little bit in the back. So here we go. turn on my iron, so that is ready when we finish the top part. Okay, so the top part, I'm gonna take down my little scrunchie here. And I'm gonna part my hair where I normally part it. I'm going all the way back to the crown just so I can keep my sections clear on what's done and what's not. And you're gonna see, I'm gonna pull everything forward. So I'm gonna pull everything towards you, because when you have like a side fringe or a bang area, if you pull everything forward first, it will get rid of any like lines or cowlicks or anything like that, and it will lay better to the side. And I'm also gonna pull it this way, even though I wear my hair this way, because it's gonna set in a little bit more volume. So you're gonna see me go all different directions, and that's really just to kind of get rid of any lines and make sure everything is gonna stay where I want it to stay. So I'm gonna go down first, I'm gonna go opposite directions, and then I'm gonna set it in place by kind of switching like backwards that way. So here we go. Also want to mention that I'm going to kind of be holding this like this for a second without the blow dryer, and that's kind of going to act almost like a roller. Like you want to kind of leave it to cool, because that's going to set it as well. So we're heating it up with the hair dryer, and then we're going to leave it in our round brush to kind of let it cool off a little bit, and then we're going to pull all the hair out and you'll see the result. This top section, I'm trying to get as much volume up here as possible, so that's why I am pulling straight up. This is where you guys are gonna get your arm workout. Okay guys, now we're all blow dried, and I'm just kind of giving it a good brush before you start the rest. All right, so it looks really good so far. So I'm gonna do the same sections that I did before, because again, my hair is like really heavy. So I'm gonna pull this section up. Okay, so this section's up, and the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flat iron my ends. This is not 100% necessary. You can just go in with the curling iron. However, I kind of like when the ends are not like so perfectly fixed. I kind of want more of a wave. So I'm gonna flat iron the ends first, and then I'm gonna leave the ends out, which I'm gonna show you when I do the curling iron. So that kind of gives that like really pretty wave effect as opposed to like the perfect curls. So I'm just doing like pretty big sections here because it doesn't have to be perfect. And again, that living proof concentrate is protecting from the heat. I will say that stuff is really heavy. Make sure you go light on it. I may have gone a little bit too heavy on it just because I'm on camera and it's weird. So this is my first time again, so y'all just bear with me. Okay, so now I'm gonna take a curling iron. You wanna choose the size of curling iron based on how long your hair is, number one, and how tight you want the curls. So if I wanted my curls to be super tight, I would use something much smaller than this, or if my hair was like chin length to shoulder length, I would use something smaller than this because this isn't really gonna do much. But for my long hair right now, this is a good size. I think it's about a 1.5 inch. So I'm going to take this section and I'm going to put the clamp like in the middle of the hair shaft. I'm gonna put it right here and I'm gonna close it, and you guys are gonna see how I'm gonna twist. I'm gonna curl everything away from my hair. So I'm gonna put it here and I'm gonna twist it around, and then I'm gonna kind of lift the clamp and slide where I want it to be. So I'm gonna leave those ends out, and then I'm gonna curl it up. I'm gonna hold it for a few seconds. I'm going to not burn my ear, and then I'm going to release. So you can see the curl did really well and the ends are pretty straight. And I'm gonna leave that curl intact while it cools, and then we're going to brush them out when we finish this section. I'm going to spray this section with the Living Proof Flex Spray. Love this hairspray. It is not strong, but it's going to do what I want it to do. I don't want anything to be like concrete. My hair is really long. I want it to have movement. I don't want it to be like super tight fixed curls. I just want it to look like natural and wavy. So I'm gonna spray what we've done. Let that sit for a second. And then I'm just gonna kind of shake those curls out and just kind of brush with my fingers. And that is really, really pretty. Like I said, I want it to just kind of be wavy, not super tight. So next section, just like before, middle of the eyebrow to the crown, pull straight up, get this little area out of the way. And now I'm gonna start building some lift. So I'm gonna use this Redken powder grip. This is like a texturizing volumizer. If you don't have one of these in your routine, you need one. This is like, we call it teas in a bottle. So it's like, looks like a salt shaker, really. And you just shake it on the roots. It takes out any oil on the roots of your hair, and it just kind of gives it a lot of lift without having to like use the rat comb, you know, like tease it up and everything that they did in the 80s. So this is gonna do that for you. So the section that I brought down, I'm gonna just sprinkle right there, sprinkle here, sprinkle here. All right, now I'm going to use my flat iron. I'm gonna be really careful not to take what I've already done. Just take the sections that are down. And like I said, I'm not like trying to be perfect with this part. I just want the ends to have like a smooth finish. And I'm not even going towards the root because I don't want to flatten the root at all. Anytime that you're working with an iron, I always recommend practice with the heat off. That way you don't, if you like get the iron stuck in your hair or you know, something goes wrong, you don't singe your hair off and fry it. So keep it on low heat at first or practice with it completely off. Better safe than sorry. Alright, that part is done. I'm gonna add an extra step here. I'm gonna take my flat iron. Because I'm a new mama, I have doesn't look too bad today, but I do have some postpartum hair around my hairline that's super frizzy. It's just growing back in. Just one of the precious, excuse me, one of the precious joys of motherhood is getting all these new hairs that you don't really know what to do with. So I just kind of smooth them out around my hairline. Now I'm gonna take this spray, spray it up, and shake it out. You can see we're already getting some lift here from that powder that we used. Speaking of the powder, we're gonna take this top section down. Before I even let this guy go, I'm going to take this powder and I'm gonna put it inside, put it right along our line, put it in the crown, and I'm just gonna kind of shake it in. And I'm gonna let it go. You can see I've already got so much lift from that. This is like the section that's like really too long. Like this is really long, so it may not do as well as normal today, but we're working with it. All right, so I'm gonna go in with my flat iron. I'm going to smooth this out. I don't really even do this a lot around this area because my top layer is a little bit shorter, but I'm still gonna do it so you guys can see. Also, another reason to do this is because I am in need of a haircut, so my ends are like, they're like dead. It's summer's over, our ends are dead. So that's another reason to kind of smooth them out right there, is just because my ends are looking pretty dry. I'm gonna make sure you get a clean section here. You can see I had a little like rogue hair there, that's why I readjusted. So got it in the clamp, I'm rolling back away from my face. Around your face, your hair is a little bit finer, always around your hairline, so you don't want to hold the iron as long around your hairline as you do in the back, because you don't want to burn it because it's more fragile. Most of the time, if you have highlights, they're around your face as well. If your stylist gives you some face framing highlights, that hair is going to be more brittle because it's highlighted. So you want to be a little more careful with it. This guy's bugging me a little bit, so I'm just gonna recurl him. Go. I don't know why I'm referring to my hair as male, but we'll go with it. Okay, this front part, these are my bangs. These are my really long mommy bangs. So I'm gonna roll these. I'm gonna roll them away from my face. Not gonna hold it very long because I do not want Shirley Temple curls in my bangs. So I'm basically just pulling that right there and let it go. And that's just gonna like fan back when we finish. So you get to look at it like that for a few minutes while I finish this side. This side is my thicker side, so it's gonna take me a little bit longer. This is fun, you guys. I hope you guys like this because I'm enjoying it and I'm excited to get into some makeup with you guys too. If you have any recommendations on like what you want to see, what you struggle with, what you want to learn, please comment. I would love to hear. I'm gonna do one more. I know that I kind of already did a little bit of this, but I'm gonna do one more in the crown so that it has a bunch of volume up there. I'm gonna pull straight up and I'm gonna roll it down like a hot roller right there, just to give me some good lift. Like I said, my hair is really long right now, so it needs a little help in the lift department. So there's that. We're gonna spray with our Flex spray. And now the fun part, we're gonna kind of shake it out, use our fingers. You don't really want to, I don't like to use a brush for this because sometimes I feel like, especially like in the salon, especially if you have finer hair, if you go through all of this and then you brush it, sometimes it just like goes flat. And we don't want that because it's still hot. So we want it to cool and we want it to have volume without taking all those curls out. So I like to have a little bit of more control. I use my hands to do that so that I can control how much weight I'm putting in it, so it's not like pulling it down. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna use is a texturizing hairspray. This is Jen Atkins brand, sold at Sephora. All this you can get at Sephora. I think the Redken you can get at Sephora. If you can't get the Redken at Sephora, I know you can get it at Ulta, and lots of different brands have those texturizing powders, and I may want to try some different ones. But I'm going to add some texturizing spray just so it's not so clean. This stuff smells so good. Okay, and I'm gonna do one more thing because I have a highlight that's driving me crazy. Y'all can, hopefully you can see it. It's right here. It's so bright and it's just grown out. It's just, I mean, it's not anything that anybody did. It's just grown out. It's due for color and it's a little brighter than I like it. So I'm gonna take some of this color touch up. You can get like Color Wow has this, but this is in like dark brown. And I'm just gonna blend that right there. This is for like touching up gray. But that hair's been bugging me, so I'm just gonna blend that right there, and then I'm gonna put some on my scalp in my part. This is great if you have gray popping back up, or if you just have like thin hair, it makes your hair look so much thicker. So that is done. I'm so excited, y'all. This is my first hair tutorial. I hope that you learned something. I hope that you can see really well. Like I said, this is my first one, so I may be like messing with the setup as we go, but it was really fun, and I got to like talk to you guys and show you guys a bunch of new tricks. And I'm gonna do a blog post with this that's gonna list all the products. There may be some extra little tips in there if I forgot anything, so when I sit down and kind of write it out, it may come to me some things that I forgot. But yeah, this is how I always wear my hair, so this was a really comfortable first video for me to do, because I do normally wear my hair like this. So I know that I'm gonna want to do like a tutorial with the wand. I know I'm gonna want to do some makeup stuff, some easy mom styles that are just like get it out of your face type of thing. So yeah, if you guys have any ideas, please send them my way, and I really had fun. So thank you for watching. I guess that's all. Love it.